Good day, St. Clair Catholic District School Board. I say good day because it's morning here as I'm recording this in Victoria. This is David Bouchard coming to you from the unceded lands of the Lukwagan. I'm from Saskatchewan. I live in Victoria, and I am currently on the unceded land. And students, if you're not quite sure what that means, can I tell you that Canadians came to British Columbia, they came to Vancouver Island, and Canadians moved in and just took control of this land that was not theirs. No treaties signed, no cessions made at all. They just moved, and then they sold it from one person to another, and I bought it from somebody, and it's not theirs to sell, and it's not mine to own. It belongs to the Lukwagan. And in British Columbia, the Lukwagan are the Esquimalt people and the Songhees people. And we as Canadians we've got better. We're now saying we know whose land it is, and we recognize that we've made some mistakes, and our country is getting better because of that kind of thing. So, David Bouchard, I'm here because I'm Métis, which means that I'm part French, I'm part Ojibwe, and I recognize and I kind of align myself with my Ojibwe grandfather's name was Pierre Charbonneau from Wisconsin. I'm Osage, and his wife, my great-great-grandmother, was Osage, which is why I'm 6'2". They're a tall people, the tallest natives in America. So I'm here because I'm Métis. I'm here because I'm an author. I've written 74 books, and the amazing thing, boys and girls, staff, about being an author of 74 books is that I'm severely dyslexic, and I'm not a good reader. Kids, you see this around me. I'll show you my shack in a minute. You see these things. These are Sennheiser earbuds that I got at Best Buy, and I use them because I love stories, but I'm not a strong reader. When you have a disability like dyslexia, it means that God has given you a strength. My disability is I mix things up in my head, numbers and names. I confuse things. It means that reading is really hard for me. Harry Potter, I was able to read because it took place in a world that I understand. But Lord of the Rings, Gandalf, Gandorf, I was completely lost and I couldn't read it. It was so hard to read. I had it over and over. I love stories. So last year I listened to 111 stories and I read 9 because I couldn't get them in Audible. It's about the story. Our whole lives are about stories. So I'm an author, and yet I have a disability. And those of you who have disabilities, you keep in mind this. Every time that our Creator gives us a problem, we have something special. And what I have as a disabled person is I think outside of the box. I don't think like other people. I've always learned to use other skills, and it's made me very, very creative. And if you, like me, find yourself as being dyslexic, chances are that, like me, you're very creative. All right, let's get past that. So I'm Métis, I'm an author, and I'm a grandpa. I got my first granddaughter. Her name is Isabel, and she was over the other day, and she started to talk, and I said, Isabel, can you say grandpapa? That's who I am. Can you say grandpapa? And she looked at me, and she said, gaga. And I said, no, grandpapa. And she said, gaga. All right, so you can think of me as a gaga there. And I'm in a position to spend a few minutes here this morning to celebrate, recognize this special week, this special month, the month of May, the month of Mary. And I know this is Catholic Education Week. So I'm thrilled to be here to be a part of this for you. And the part that I'd love to emphasize is hope for the future. And I want you to know, students, where that hope lies. It's in you. When people say to me, you're a bit of a skeptic, you've seen all of the rough things going on in our world. What are your thoughts for the future? And I say, nothing but hope. Have you met the kids? Have you talked to them? They're doing a better job of caring for Mother Earth. They're doing a better job of caring for and respecting one another. Have you met these kids? These kids are our hope for the future. It's you. Okay, can I do this real quickly? Here's what you're looking at. Gray hair because I'm doing an imitation of Santa? No, because I'm older. Is it because I'm a Catholic? Well, not really. It's true, I am a Catholic. I brought it in France, and you can unscrew the crucifix, and inside there's 2 locks of hair, one that belongs to Victoria. The day she was born, I put in a lock of her hair, and I put in a lock of her mummy's hair. I closed it, and I put a little crazy glue, and it sits there next to my heart. And on the crucifix, it says, Jésus est conçu sans péché. Jesus was born without sin. He was born to a virgin. There. Keep looking. Oh, this is my pouch. We call it a medicine bag, Indigenous people. And if you're among us and you don't have not been taught how to use it, what we do is we keep those really important things with us in here in your life, your journey through life. And in my journey through life, most important things are my mom and dad, and they both died. And I have a little bit of their ashes in here. And then I have also have my best friend. His name was Hagrid. He was the biggest dog ever bred in Canada. He was an Irish Wolfhound. And when Hagrid died, my heart was broken, and I put a little bit of his toenail in there. And I have my little girl Victoria's first tooth. I bought it from the Tooth Fairy, $5.70. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Victoria's first tooth is in here, and then I have the four sacred plants in here. The four sacred plants: sweet grass, tobacco, sage, and cedar. A little bit of each of those in here. Kids, if something happens to me this afternoon, maybe a heart attack or a car accident, when I die, they're there. Those important things are close to my heart. So this is what you're looking at. And I'm in the coolest place you've ever seen. Can I give you a little look at it? I'm in Victoria. You heard me say that, on the unceded lands of the Lukwagan. And this is my shack. If I was a younger man, I'd call it my man cave. But I'm too old for that. It was an old garage falling apart. It had the holes in the roof and there was no floor. So everything I did with recycled product. Why? Because I care about Mother Earth. I don't want to use up stuff that's already been used. Check it out. This then is the roof, the ceiling of my shack. The old garage had no roof. Now it does. It has these wonderful, wonderful shiplap pieces that I found from a house being torn down. You see the chandelier? I bought it at Restore for $100. Restore is a place where people donate things for animal welfare. And then if you look on the bookshelves on the side, all done out of recycled wood. The flutes, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. There's flutes, and you'll see there's tons of books. There's chess sets and toy soldiers, because I like to collect things. When I was a kid, I used to collect hockey cards and baseball cards, and then stamps, and I like to collect things. And then if I keep going over to the side, there's my new cuckoo clock, and all of those pictures are originals from my books. I know it's really cool to be able to do that. These are original illustrations from some of my books. And there's the door, also Facebook, Facebook Marketplace. And above the door, oh, that links you see there, I traded for it with books from Montreal, Gallery Montreal. And then I go down, you see the little stove, Facebook Marketplace, and you see George's bed, that little trunk, that's where my pup sleeps. And there on the side, there's a TV. No, that's not recycled. The TV's there just because I'm a big Toronto Raptor fan. And to be honest with you, when Donald Trump was in power, I used that as a comic relief type of area. And I worked my way over there, and you can see flutes. Oh, you see the nativity scene right in the middle there? It's 40 years old. I painted that little toy soldier nativity scene when my son was being born. And the day he was born, I painted baby Jesus. I know. Up, more books, and there, more flutes, toy soldiers, carvings, drums. I know, I better stop. There's so much I want to share with you. And that's a little look at where I am. And you saw the flutes. I should speak to that very, very quickly. This is fun. I'm dyslexic. I struggle as a reader, period. But the real cool part about this is music I can't read. And people like me who have dyslexia really do struggle with reading, because when I look at music on a paper, I see little black dots on a white sheet of paper and I have trouble reading them. And I love music. And one day about 10 years ago, I was in a building in Wetaskiwin in Alberta, and I heard an elder playing a flute, and I walked over and I said, "Ooh, that is so, so nice. Can I ask you what it is?" And he said, "Yeah, it's a native flute. You like it?" And I said, "Yeah, a lot." And he said, "They're super easy. All you have to do is put your finger on this hole and blow into it, and it's going to make a sound, a very, very awesome sound." So I tried it. Watch this. I know, and I could go on all day talking about my flutes or my shack, or that's what I do. That's the gift the creator gave me. It's the gift of talk. I'm a storyteller. And when I realized what my gift was, I tattooed it on my arm. Can you see the raven? I know. And every morning when I wake up, every morning I have a shower. I step out of the shower and I see it in the mirror. And I raise my head towards heaven and I say, "Creator, I'd like to be rich, but I'm not going to build my life on money. I'd like to be famous, but I'm not going to build my life there. I'm going to build my life around the gift that you've given me. I'm a storyteller and I'm going to tell stories. And that's what I do for a living. I know I like to talk. And I used to get in trouble for talking when I was little. Now it's what I do for a living. Are there any of you that get in trouble for talking? Like you talk too much? Maybe you're going to be an author someday. Because when you're an author, it's nothing more than talking on paper. I don't even really like to write that much. I really like to talk. And sometimes when I talk, I like to talk with a little rhythm and rhyme. I know. If I were younger, I'd be a rapper. I'm not kidding you. I've got it in my soul. The problem is when you're as old as I am and you start to rap, some kid like you picks up the phone, they call 911 and they say, hurry, get over here. There's an old man having a seizure. I know that. So I've got to be careful. But I love rhythm and rhyme. And I'm going to share one of my stories with you briefly now. And you're going to hear that magic of the language. And English is wonderful for poetry because we spit our language. That's why rappers, it comes off the tip of our tongue. Okay, so I have two very quick messages for you as I get started. Mental health is real. Okay, kids, listen to me. If no one's told you before, mental health is as real as a broken arm, as a broken leg, and forever, we as teachers and parents weren't prepared to deal with mental health. I have a little girl who suffers from a mental health disability, and every morning Victoria wakes up and she takes Cipralex and she needs help because she has a mental health disorder. And it is that real. Students, staff, never look at someone and say, what's your problem? Always look at them and say, is there a problem? Can I help you? My first message is this one. Mental health is real, and we all have to work at coming to recognize it and deal with it appropriately. And my second message for all of you is this one. You've been given some gift, something really, really special. Sadly, we tell you, if you're going to succeed in life, you're going to look like her. And you might be a girl that says, but I'm not built like her. And you say, oh, those things can be changed. And you'll dress like her or like him. Oh, that's pretty expensive clothes. I know, but that's success. And you'll drive a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, and your house will have 2 or 3 garages. And we teach you to look up there for success. And here I am, as a grandfather, as an educator, really saying, don't look up there, look inside. Whatever gift God has given you, you build your life around that gift and you'll live a good life. That's the second message I wanted you to know. There's only one of you. There's only one of you. You figure out what that is, and you spend your whole life focusing on the gift you've been given. Okay. Now, remember when I told you that I was a talker and I also like to write? Can I share my book with you? It's one of my many books, and this one is appropriate for all ages because it talks about the way we should live our lives. It talks about some spirituality that we have as Indigenous people. So whether you're Indigenous or not, I think you'll find this interesting. You all know what the medicine wheel is, yes? Yellow, red, black, white. It goes in a circle because everything important goes in a circle. Well, I use that as a basis for this book, and I didn't do the illustrations. No, I'm not a very good drawer. I worked with Christy Cameron. Christy's from Atikokan. They say Atikokan. It means bones of caribou. It's north of Fort Frances and south of Thunder Bay, and her work is crazy awesome. Can I read you the book? It won't take long. I'll be right back. Don't move. I've got it here on my screen. So I'm going to zap down to share your screen, David. And when I do, you'll see it pop up. And when it pops up, I will say, there it is. Come on, show me the full screen, please. And as it does, let's do this. I'll read it to you. It just won't take a second. And hopefully during this Catholic Education Week, you'll learn a little something about the spirituality of our Indigenous neighbors, or if you're Indigenous of our own, and the similarities between Catholicism and an Indigenous belief. Here we go. I dedicated the book to David James Manson. He's a special needs friend of mine. And it goes like this. We are taught how to live, when to take, when to give. From our elders, we learn how the earth and sun turn. All their teachings are clear, all their lessons are dear. They're simple and fun. We just learn from the sun. What I'm saying there is all you have to do is look at the sun and follow the sun. And all of the lessons that you're meant to learn, you'll learn by just watching the sun, period. Just look at the sun. Come on, just go outside tomorrow morning, look at the sun and learn. First, sit in a round, our legs crossed on the ground, and we place our hands flat on our Mother Earth's back. And why do I call her Mother Earth? Everyone in the world does. I've been to China, Africa, India. Everyone refers to the earth as our mother because we all come from her. If she wasn't here, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. The tree wouldn't be here. My dog George wouldn't be here. It's because of her that we're all here. I know that you have your own moms and dads, your own families. I do too. But we're a part of a bigger family, a greater family. That's why we say we are all one family. And we have to take care of Mother Earth. We have to take care of wildlife and of the trees and the rivers and the lakes. Okay, with closed eyes, side by side, our hearts open wide, we're many of us. Yes, we are, yet we're one, waiting there for the sun. When the sun rises in the east, the color in the medicine wheel is yellow, and we learn from an animal called wolf. We're small and we're weak, like the wolf, and yet we're unique. We're humble. It's fun when we learn from the sun. The sun rises each day in the sun as we pray. It's huge. It's strong. We're not big. That's wrong. If you were standing holding my hand tomorrow morning when the sun rises, you'd say, Mr. Bouchard, it's huge. Look at the sun. And I'd say, I know. And you'd say, I'm small. I'd say, I know. And you'd say, and it's so powerful. And I'd say, yes, it is. And you'd say, I'm so weak. And I'd say, yes, we are weak, but we're unique. There's only one of you in the whole world. Now, when the sun goes in the south, all of a sudden you're going to be 25 years old and you're going to raise your arms and you're going to say, I'm strong, I'm smart, I can do anything I want, I can be anything I want. And this is when you want to look to Raven for honesty. You be honest with yourself. You might be able to do anything or have anything, but you be honest. What gift did Creator give you? That's the gift that you want to build your life on. When the sun's south we see, we have gifts, you and me. We're unique, everyone. We learn that from the sun. And you're going to live 25 years of your life based on the gift that God gave you. And then you're going to be 50 years old. And the sun goes down in the west and it's black in the sky. And we learn from Buffalo what? Buffalo's the biggest. She runs across the plain, doesn't step on little gophers or birds. She knows she's big and she's strong, but she also knows that we're all part of one family. Never step on someone else to get where you want to go. You be respectful, because in the eyes of God, we're all equal. We're all God's children. When we look to the west where the sun goes to rest, we are taught to respect, from the old to the nest. So if we do a quick review, yellow in the east, we learn humility from the wolf. And when the sun is in the south, red in the sky, we learn honesty from Raven. And when the sun goes down in the west, we learn respect from Buffalo. And now when you look to the north, what color is the landscape? White. What color is the bear? White. What color is my beard? Well, white. Then we turn to the north and our courage comes forth. Barren landscape or white, and we find the strength we need to do right. Those are the 4 directions of the medicine wheel, and those are 4 sacred teachings: courage, respect, honesty, and humility. But there are 3 more. Look up towards the sky. What color do you see there? What do we learn? Next, turn your heads high to our Father, the sky. And here Beaver advised that we have to be wise. Do you know what happens to Beaver if she doesn't use the wisdom to work her teeth every day? Did you know that the beaver's teeth will grow through and they can die? It's true. Beaver has the wisdom to use the gift that Creator gave it. Do you? Are you going to grow old and say, you know what, I was really good at what I should have done, I could have done? Be wise like Beaver. And then look down to the ground, and this is my favorite. We are told to look down. Mother Earth is the ground. She's the tree. She's the snow, where we're from and where we'll go. Mom and Dad have gone back to her. I know that. I know I'll go back to her. I know that she's my mother in a similar way to my mom, my real mom, my birth mom is my mother. And then the most important of them all is this one. Then we look deep inside in our hearts, eagle flies, and she's up there above. She teaches us how to love. And the most important of the 7 sacred teachings is love. And friends, if you can't love yourself, you'll never love anyone else. You have to learn to walk into the house, look into the mirror and say, hey, you, I love you. I am so, so proud to be you. You're not too skinny. You're not too fat. You're not too tall. You're not too short. There's only one of you, and I am thrilled to be you. You have to learn to do that. And of course, finally, you can learn how to live, when to take and when to give. And you'll find that it's fun when you learn from the sun. And that is the book. I know. And you might not think that there's a lot there, but I think there is. It really teaches us a number of things, and it focuses on that thing that I told you at the beginning. I know this is Catholic Education Week, but this is something you should live every day. There's only one of you, and you have to learn to fall in love with you. You have to learn to look in the mirror and say, Creator, I'm so thrilled for what you've given me. I'm going to do the best job I can with what you've given me. I'm going to build on what I am and who I am, and I'm going to make you proud. I know Okay. I'm thrilled to be a part of your week, Catholic Education Week, St. Clair's. I've been by your area. I've been down several times before, and I might even had a chance to speak to some of the staff, maybe even some of the students. And I look forward to a day when this pandemic is gone, and I get a chance to come and to look into your eyes once again, and ask you how you are, and hope that you're doing very well and living by the gifts that you've been given. So I wish you a very, very pleasant week. I'm thinking about you here in Victoria, in the unceded land of the Lukwagan. David Bouchard. You can call me Gaga.